All right, it's 7 o'clock and I'd like to call the October 10th German Township Trustees regular meeting to order. Would you please stand and join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mark, would you please take the roll call?
Dr. Frost.
He is absent due to, and he's excused.
Dr. Frost may be observing online. He is allowed under Ohio Revised Code to participate in the meeting, but he's not allowed to vote, and we're not allowed to show him as present tonight. Mr. Stubbs.
Here.
Mr. Potter. Here. We have a quorum.
Oh, I think we'll start off with visitor comments tonight. So I know you have something to present to us. We'll go ahead and start with you.
Okay. My name is Brad Hostler. I'm the owner of Dry Tech Exteriors in Kettering. I was asked to come out here and inspect the roof and see if it was a good candidate for a product that we are certified in installing. This is an amazing product. I have some literature on it. I did not know how many to bring, so you can pass this around. I also have the quote here for the roof. I have a few, so I don't know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this product here, you folks have a rubber EPDM roof up there. It's an 0.45 millimeter thickness rubber membrane on your roof. They typically last about 15 years. Is what we're seeing, 15, 20 at max before the glues start to break down and fail. The product that I quoted for the roof that is currently up there is what's called Gateco Flex S4200. This is applied by a serrated squeegee that allows the mills and thickness of the warranty that you purchase to make sure that we're spot on, because we have to have a pre-inspection, which you already completed, and we have to have a post-inspection, which will happen once we are completed with the project with the manufacturer to make sure that that passes so that you are that you may register your warranty. That warranty is why I am so heavily involved with Gateco. I love this product. I stand very firm with this product because unlike any other flat roofing substrate, water has to be flashed off within 72 hours or it voids your warranty. So if you have ponding water, sitting water on a flat roof for more than 72 hours, and you have an issue, it is voided of the warranty. You have to have positive slope to a drainage point. And that seems to be a typical problem with flat roofs, is your rise and run is usually 1/8 over 12. And it just starts to get lumpy and it loses its positive slope. Why I love this product is because if I coat your roof, this guarantees to be leak-free. You can have ponding water on it 365 days a year and you still keep your warranty. That's why I love this product. It's also allowed to, or I'm sorry, you'll definitely notice a decrease in your energy bills because it's white. When you can't see it, you will notice it. Every one of our customers comes and tells us, like in the summertime, especially in the factories and things like that, we've never had our AC kick off and it actually turns off for some period of time. And it's really, really neat. Our installers have to wear sunglasses when they install it because that's how bright it is when you're on it. When we do our final inspection, you'll see us wearing sunglasses. It's that bright and it just really reflects the sunlight. Here's some more product literature on the product itself. So the quote that the level that I quoted here was a 20-year warranty. It is transferable and it is a no dollar limit warranty. So what that means is for 20 years, you have this warranty backed by the largest manufacturer of roofing products. And so Firestone owns Gateco. So that that you can trust that that is a very, very good product. This product has taken off in Florida like wildfire about 25 years ago. Hasn't made it up here because of the cold. So they reformulated it. And now it's really, really taking over flat roofing. It's non-invasive. I don't have to rip everything off, get down to the substrate and make sure that everything is in good order. If it passes that pre-inspection, then you're good to go. And it already has passed that pre-inspection, just so you're aware. They gave the thumbs up on that, and they gave me all the documentation needed to move forward with the project if we indeed do. Here's some samples of the product itself, just some silicone. It is a silicone-based product. I'll go into how we apply it and the steps that go into doing so labor-wise. So you'll see on that list some of these products that I'll talk about. First, we wash it. We wash it very, very well. EPDM has to be washed extremely well. So we'll make sure all the dirt and all the grime is all off of there. We're going to use that Geico wash to do so. We let that dry for a day, and then we come back and we start with the Geico patch. Geico patch is a concentrated silicone, and that's where we're going to put that on any kind of vertical seams. You have parapet walls on the sides and you have separations in the middle of the roof. Any of those parapet walls has a seam that goes up that wall, they have to be coated in this Geico patch. Any problematic areas must have the Geico patch product applied to it first. And then any kind of penetrations into the roof, that'd be your drains, your vents, anything like that, do a Geico patch all the way around that. And again, it's just a very heavy duty concentrated silicone coating. We let that dry for a day, and then we come back and apply the S4200 coat at the 34 mils. This is our key that we use constantly up on the roof while we're applying it. With our serrated squeegee set to 34 mils, that gives you the 20-year level. And we then back roll it after we put it down with the serrated squeegee. After each pass, you'll see our crew member go up there. He will dab this down into it 3 times, put it on his hand like that, and make sure that it is showing the mils that is required by the manufacturer for the thickness of the warranty that you purchased. It comes in different levels. It comes with no warranty, and that's a very low, thin level, 10, 15, and 20. We really just do the 20 because that's all anybody really wants. The cost difference is just not there to not do it. The best part about this product, besides the standing water, is that at year 19, I come back. I don't have to do any more Geico patch. I will wash the roof, and I will put it back to 34 mils, give you another 20-year warranty, and you're good to go by the manufacturer for another 20 years without ripping one piece of this roof off. So that's why we love this product, and we've just had an extreme amount of success. We just did like a few city buildings for the city of Miamisburg. We've done Kettering Pond and Garden, which is a massive project for us. We just did Target Dayton Ministries downtown, coated that roof. And again, just people were really raving about the product. So any questions?
The warranty, is it good? I mean, if for some odd reason, Drytech were to go out of business in that 20-year time span, or 18, 19, whatever, would Firestone or Geico find another authorized person to do the repair work?
Absolutely. It's backed labor and material by the manufacturer. It's the same for our shingles. We're a platinum preferred contractor for our shingles. That's 1% of all roofers in the entire country. If for any reason I sold you a platinum warranty on your home or any other structure, and I went out of business, you would just call Owens Corning and they would get another platinum contractor to come and service that work for absolutely no cost to you. Why I love this product in Geico as well, another reason is if something does go wrong, because they passed it. They said everything looks great here, and it's intensive. It will do 6 random core samples up there, pour out the millage and make sure that it is the exact mils or more that is required for your warranty. They'll make sure that the Geico patch is on the vertical seams and everywhere that it should be. If any of that fails, I have to make those, they won't hand the warranty. I'll have to make those corrections, and then they will honor the warranty and sign off on that. We have never failed, so I will say that. So you'll see our installer, our foreman is a pretty paranoid individual when it comes to this stuff. He does not ever want to fail because I'm usually up there with the inspection with him. And he will typically go to like 40 just to be safe on the mills. 34 is where you got to be, and he's usually coming in at 40. And I'm like, costs more, but you know, he doesn't want to fit. So, but yes, to answer your question. And again, I don't know if I said it. I think I did. It is transferable. I don't think you guys are going anywhere, but for a lot of other companies, it's really nice to hear that.
And we still have time to get it done yet this year if we.
Yes. One of the brochures that tells you 32 degrees. They say that, and that's all good, but this is a moisture curing product. Dry air it does not like. Moisture curing means, like in Phoenix, Arizona, a lot of companies for Gateco will put it on and immediately, as soon as it's on, spray the roof because it locks it. Then you can go and actually touch it right after you spray the roof because it is moisture curing. So in the summertime, when it's nice and humid out, well, this stuff sets up in no time at all. When it starts getting dry and a little cooler, it will take about a day or two to cure. So it's not a problem, but you cannot, rule number one with silicone is trap moisture. That's why we, we'll do a core sample. We'll make sure there's no moisture trapped under the building. So if you had active leaks all over the place, I could not do this for you. So we want to make sure that we're not trapping any moisture. If you trap moisture, it will cause the silicone to bubble up. You don't want that.
What if we had a little incident like we just had here with the
Did it
rolling
Did you have an active leak? Oh, it did. Oh, well, that's good to hear now. We would have to address that area. It can be a concentrated repair. But I would have to we'd have to do a moisture meter on it, see if it dried out on its own. If it has not dried out on its own, and there is trapped moisture, because insulation board holds onto that moisture for quite some time if it's not open to the elements. It's going to take some time to really dry out, if it does at all. I'm not sure. And what is the deck? Is it metal? Metal deck? And not at least it's not concrete. It's concrete and never goes away. It just seems like it just sits there forever. So I'll have to do a reading. I'll have to come back. I'll have to do a moisture meter reading. We definitely don't want to trap that moisture, and I wouldn't want to do a disservice to you folks. So yeah, I was not aware of that. I just thought like
That was the reason.
I thought it happened and you guys did it and like fixed it because they told you it happened.
They did it. And then like 2 days later, it rained a lot.
3 inches.
3 inches. And then we had water pouring in the commissary, and that's when we went up and repaired it right after the rain.
The area that you saw and noticed the leak, I mean, I see the patches. It's probably as big as that table is the actual area.
Right.
That's right here. It just seems like it's a little like raccoon damage, honestly.
Right.
Just got puncture little holes all over the place.
Yeah.
So theoretically, if that's it, that's no big deal.
Right. That was
I
it.
got to cut that out and put a patch, put tape around it, then coat it. This is not a major concern of mine, but it may just have to, revise that quote if we have to go in and do that.
What about puncturing? Is it possible somebody walking on it or hail
Walking.
damage or?
Walking, no. Dropping sharp tools, yeah, you don't want to do that. I mean, that's any roof, But yeah, I mean, servicing roofs is going to happen. They are aware that that's going to happen. It's not an issue with walking on it. Stab the roof, that's a problem. Stab the roof, call me immediately. I can come out here and just, all you got to do is pour some S4200 on it, let it dry, and that's it, because nothing sticks to silicone besides silicone. So that's why after year 19, we inspect, they come inspect, and I can do it all over again for you. Never have to get as invasive as a full roof removal. Because there's so many projects where they have raining off air conditioning units, and it just gets absolutely astronomical. Some of these roof quotes that we do, well into the six figures, when we can cut that down and give you a longer warranty. Like Firestone's EPDM is only 15 years. But the Gateco is 20. It's a longer warranty, less price, and no dollar limit. So it's what people really like to hear, is the no dollar limit.
So what's the turnaround time are you backed up or?
No, I mean, we're never more than 2 weeks out from the time we say go. We have the capability of doing 4 roofs a day, 6
I had them go ahead and inspect it
Yeah, we kind of do getting all of the
Pre-inspection.
stuff that takes time, it could take time out of the way. And then if you press the button, we theoretically can go within that 2 weeks.
Okay.
Just because I can't control when they can come and inspect. They come from Michigan. I mean, they're very serious about giving that 20-year warranty. I mean, they don't play around with it, so. Any other questions? Well,
If we was to have an issue like that, then Jeremy couldn't fix that. He needs to call you. We have
if you have any, you're talking about if we do the roof?
Yes.
Yeah, what do we do?
after we did the roof.
Yep.
Our air guy comes up there and he did what he did.
You call me.
You need to call you.
You call me because I need to notate that in the file. They will want that notated and notated that I fixed it. Date I fixed it, and we're good. I mean, it's as simple as, I mean, anyone can do it, but you want it documented.
They didn't want documentation.
Yes, absolutely.
They want to know what material you're using to patch it with too. So that they-
Right, yeah. I mean, we did, we'll do pull tests. There's a lot of different tests that we do up there. The rubber has to be in good contact. It can't be up there. We went to a church, in a long story short, and there was air getting underneath it. And we happened to be out there on the inspection on a windy day with Geico. And the whole thing, this is like a football field in this church, it's a massive church. It's just going like this. The whole roof is waving and bubbling. He just looked at me and went, let's get down. This is not a good candidate. Cannot do this. So, yeah. So with that, and I say that because we had to do a pull test to make sure that it was still adhered to the existing structure before we encapsulate it.
All right. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. So I'll come out here probably tomorrow or the next day and just go up and I'll give you notice so you can give them notice. Don't spook anybody. Do you want me, whenever I come, to just knock, make my presence?
Might not be nobody here. They're not always open. But just let me know and I'll let Jeremy know.
Okay, sounds good.
And we did, Brett was fine.
People go up on the roof all the time. Nobody pays them any attention. So
Well,
you can be the Unabomber and
yeah, so it must have been just the random day that I did come with the Geico rep and the police officer pulled in and said, what are you doing? Blue collar, I checked it. He's like, oh,
that's all
good,
you got.
yeah.
That's all you got.
Yeah. So, do you want to hold on to all of those things if you'd like? You can keep them in this folder.
Sure. Scan them. And then we'll be able to send them out to all of you to your file.
The folder it goes into. You folks, just a few of my cards here. If you need me for any reason, just give me a call if you have any questions and
Appreciate
go
it.
from there. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Pleasure to meet you all.
Let you know something tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank
Have a good night.
Take care.
Are there any other visitor comments tonight? You're left. Mark walked out. It's just you. Got anything? No, yeah,
You
yeah.
were looking at me.
Yeah, you're the only one left. You're good.
No.
Nope, okay. All right. Well, we will go ahead and move on to the fiscal officer's report.
Good evening again, everyone. I've given you minutes from the September 11th regular meeting and the September 26th special meeting. Are there any corrections?
I did not see any.
I did not see any.
And I have motions to approve both sets of minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve both sets of minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. I've also given you the September financial reports. As you get every month, you have the September 30th fund status report, the year-to-date cash summary by fund, the month of September cash summary by fund, the September receipts, and the September payments. And there are several items I want to note to you. Receipt number 139 is for $36,640.79 from the Valley View Local School District, and that is the first half payment on the 23-24 school resource officer contract. The second and last payment is due on or before January 2nd of next year. And as I pointed out at last month's meeting, receipt number 143 for $356,489.50, less fees of $14,739.01, which came from the Montgomery County Auditor, is the settlement payment from our July tax receipts. We have not received the second half homestead and rollback taxes from the state. And once I receive those, which probably will be later this month, I will then remit 90% of the total second half joint levy receipts to the city of Germantown. Receipt number 146 for $18,000 from the state of Ohio is the annual cell tower lease payment. And receipt 148 from $10,379.19 from Star Ohio is our September interest. This month, 5.52% interest. It keeps going up, which is good news for us. And finally, one payment I want to point out, which is number 769. The amount's $14,251.90. It is to former police chief Joseph Ansick. It's his final retirement pay. It included his accrued and unused sick time, which was 480 hours, his vacation, 45.5 hours, and his accrued comp time, 100.375 hours, less, of course, all of his tax and other withholdings. Any questions about the financial reports?
No.
If not, could I have a motion to approve them and authorize the payment of the September bills? You have the list of warrant numbers. Whoever's going to make the motion,
I can get it up on my,
and also the voucher numbers. I can give them to you if you don't have them.
yeah, it won't load, so.
Okay, well, it's going to be warrants 50699 through 50704 and vouchers 698 through 802. And that's for payroll direct deposit, tax withholdings, and other electronic payments.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve warrants 50699 through 50704 and vouchers 698 through, what's that,
802.
02 through,
And that represents payroll direct deposit,
Payroll.
tax withholdings, other electronic payments. And also, will you also in your motion include approving the financial statement?
and approve the financial statements.
Second.
Thank you very much. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I guess not. All right, I just want to remind everyone that German Township will have 3 issues on the November 7th ballot. Issue number 4 is our 5-year renewal of a 1 mil joint road levy with the city of Germantown. Issue number 5 concerns electric aggregation. And issue number 6 concerns natural gas aggregation. And Trabo LLC, our aggregation consultant, will be hosting an informational meeting for township residents next Wednesday, October 18th at 6 p.m. to discuss the aggregation issues. And that meeting will be held here at the Township Hall. If for some reason residents want to attend a meeting, but are not available that evening, I also have the information on 2 other similar meetings that Trayville is holding. In Jackson Township, they're having it on Tuesday, September 17th at 6 o'clock at the Jackson Township Hall. And in Perry Township, at their Township Hall, they are holding the same meeting on Thursday, October 19th at 6 p.m. So there's 3 options for our township residents to learn more about the aggregation issue prior to the election.
I think you said September 7th.
Did I say September?
But you meant October.
I meant October for every one of those. That's how much attention I'm paying to what I'm saying. So, all right. We have not yet received any information back from the Montgomery County Auditor concerning whether the current real estate values would be used or the proposed 2024 values would be used if the township runs a new joint fire and EMS levy at the March primary. The county auditors people have told me that they've requested a written answer from the state of Ohio, and it's not yet been received. But apparently, other counties are also asking the state for an opinion, because obviously we're not the only ones who want to run a levy in March. But it's quickly becoming too late for us to go through the necessary steps in time to place the levy on the primary ballot. So it seems likely that a new fire and EMS levy will just need to wait until November of next year to place it on the ballot. There was an article on September 24th in the Dane Daily News discussing CAUV farm property values and the increases starting next year. German townships are going to go up an average of 75.9% in valuation. And the article also went on to say that in the Valley View District, farm taxes are expected to increase an average of 15 to 18%, which is significant, a lot more than what the residential taxes will go up based on the new values. And finally, I have met twice with Germantown Union Cemetery Fiscal Officer Julie Dell to assist her with some training. And I anticipate there will be additional sessions that will occur in the future. She's been very welcoming to me, asking for some assistance. So happy to help.
Thank
With
you
that,
for
I'm
doing,
done.
thank you for doing that.
I got one question.
Sure.
Just here in the Valley View District, is that because of the new school tax? What did you say Valley View District for?
That's
Just Germantown Farmersville?
Germantown Farmersville. How that will they did not specifically in the article talk about taxes in German Township. They talked about how it would be in the entire district. However, Jackson's valuations are going up by 83.9% farm values under CAUV.
It's going to be hard for us to ask for levies when people's property taxes are going up so much. So
And
that's something to think.
Unfortunately, the state dictates completely what the CAU values are.
Right.
Based on crop or other revenues that the farmland brings in, so. Okay, I am done. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your report. We will move on to the police report with Acting Chief Shane Birch.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's good to be here. And I'm going to start off with our department stats for the month of September. Our officers drove a total of 5,763 miles. They were dispatched on 74 calls. That doesn't include self-initiated calls that the officers did. They closed 69 cases. There were 17 case follow-ups. We did 265 business checks, 35 vacant house checks, 568 occupied house checks. There were 5 crashes, 20 traffic stops, and 16 citations. Some of the equipment issues that we've had, bring this up because they're significant dollar value over the last month. T-Car, which is our K9 cruiser. It's a 2017 Explorer. It's got 90,000 miles on it. And we plan on keeping this cruiser through the duration of having the K9, which is probably another year to 2 years. So the investment was needed here. It was a water pump that went out. That was $4,000 that we had to spend on that water pump. Labor was quite expensive. And then U-Car last week. U-Car is a 2019 Explorer. It's got 55,000 miles on it. The left rear wheel knuckle wheel bearing stabilizer links broke. I'm not a mechanic, so I don't know exactly what that means. But all I know is I showed up to when it happened to Officer Parker. He did a fantastic job of keeping from totaling this cruiser when it broke. he came very close into going to bridge wall. So he did a real good job of keeping that thing under control. So the replacement of both left and right rear wheel bearings, knuckles, and stabilizer links is $4,817.
That like at Ford? You take it to Ford?
Yeah, Ford in Middletown. On some things, we try to use local mechanics, but on these bigger items like this. One item, I'm not sure if Chief Anzick ever brought this up. Our Emergitech reporting system. That, at the end of this year, I believe, would no longer be supported by Emergitech. And Shauna worked really hard on helping us update our system, going away from Emergitech and using Oleg's RMS system. Basically, that's a state system that we do all our reports on. There's also a computerized drawing system we use now that was also free. And good thing about Oleg is it's free. We won't have to pay $2,500 a year anymore. Emergitech. So Shawnee did a great job with that. A couple items of just information that we've dealt with. One thing I'd like to thank everybody that showed up to National Night Out. It was, I think, very successful. Again, Shauna did a great job with that. We think that we had around 75 people that attended. There was a lot of new faces there this year too. That was kind of nice to see. He says, we had a good time. It's a nice turnout. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you guys for taking the time to do it. I know the community appreciates it. And I know it's a lot of work for both of you guys and the department as a whole. So thank you for taking the time to go above and beyond and do something that the community can get involved in and see the good things that you guys are doing in the community as well.
And Jake and I have discussed a couple other options that we might try to start doing. Future, try to get some more public involvement. I'm big on that. I agree with it. So, one thing that has happened, I don't know if you guys remember the fatal crash on August the 5th on Route 4. We finally got an indictment from the grand jury from the person that caused that crash, and the indictment, the grand jury indicted him on 6 felony charges, 1 misdemeanor charge. So he is now in the Montgomery County Jail. He was being held up north by ICE. In the meantime, ICE worked very well with us. It really helped us out in this situation. So he is now in jail and he will face these charges. And so that's all I got. Got any questions?
No, but again, I'd like to thank you for your time and effort in that case and the department's time in that case, because I know there were some trips up north to make sure we took care of what needed to be taken care of. So thank you and your whole department for all the hard work to make sure hopefully justice is served in this case.
Public, I just like to echo Mr. Stubbs' nice job. So could have gone a different way from.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your report. I will move on to Jeremy Holbrook with the road department report.
Just a few things tonight. Want to let the board know that Mr. Hamilton and I repaired probably around 10 or 12 broken tablet stones at the various cemeteries across the township that we maintain. Several of them had been broken for a couple of years, and then we had a few damaged from mainly branches and stuff hitting them. So we got those cleaned up, bought some specific epoxy to put those back together. So most of the stones, I can say, I think all of them, I won't jinx myself, but I'm pretty sure all of the broken ones are back together and standing erect now. So took care of that. We have started with our 2023 tree trimming with the Bomford mower. So far, we've gotten all of Puddinbag Road completed, all of Moyer Road completed. and South Shemp Road completed. Probably be moving more north, hopefully tomorrow. So we'll continue doing that through the fall and hopefully get it taken care of before the winter comes and pulls us off that and puts us on to salting the roads. The only other thing I had was we attended the American Public Works Association equipment show at the convention center in Dayton last week. I got notification about that show and it was like $160 a person. So we kind of decided that wasn't best use of township money. And then the gentleman I work with at Montgomery County sent free tickets. So all of a sudden it became a whole lot more doable. So we went out and spent half a day up there looking at some of the interesting equipment that some of the other public works departments are looking at. It was all new equipment. The only downfall was salt trucks have gone up significantly. So I think when we bought the last new one, it was like 150,000 equipped, and now it's getting closer to 2. So that might put off this year's purchase because we actually budgeted what we thought would be half the money last year, but it probably is not going to be half. So we'll have to, once we get, Mark and I sit down and get the budget going, have to take a closer look at that. I'll put it off another year. I'm not sure. So we'll
It'll be a third and a third and a third, 3 years.
possibly. Other than that, that's all I have in my report.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. We'll move on to the trash report. Sean.
I'm gonna start with zoning.
And zoning.
No, you're fine. There's only 2 permits written in September, both for new residential construction, one on Carlisle Pike, and one on Conservancy Road. The Carlisle Pike one is the Kramer property that the Board of Zoning Appeals approved that split. The German Township Zoning Commission met on October 4th to further discuss regulations for small solar facilities. We're getting close to having the document ready to send to you guys, Montgomery County Planning Commission, and legal counsel for review. We just have a few things to clean up, change the table of contents a little bit. They're going to meet again tentatively on November 16th. That night is set aside for the BZA. I think the deadline to have a case to me to go before the BZA for that date is this week. So as long as nothing comes in, we'll go ahead and meet on that date. That's why it's tentative at this point at 7 p.m. Trash report. The online payment system for trash bills is set up and ready to go. I'm also able to use it for zoning. I actually did a zoning payment with it 2 weeks ago, and it was so easy and it was wonderful and so convenient. There will be a link on the bills so people can follow that link and it will take them to the trash tab on our website. So they can either do that or go straight to our website, german-township.org. Go to the trash tab, and at the very bottom it says pay bill online, and it goes right to a portal. You will now have invoice numbers on the trash bills. They just click in their invoice number and it goes right to their account. They can pay online, and it sends me an email. I'll do a report from Mr. Easton, and it'll tell. It's going to be great. I really think it's going to be great. I've already gotten some positive feedback when I let the community know.
If I may comment on that also. Former fiscal officer Bob Norback came to me recently and said that when he was fiscal officer, there was some kind of a state prohibition against townships accepting credit card payments.
Really?
So I reached out to the prosecutors just to ask whether that was still the case and if we would have to backpedal. And I got an email today, you were copied on it, both of you, from Mr. Peterson saying there's nothing in the statute that says we can't. In fact, it specifically says we can.
Thank God, you gave me a stroke there for a half a second.
I didn't copy you on my request because I knew that it would upset you.
Yeah, a little bit.
So the good news is
Well, I'm very glad to hear that.
sometime after Mr. Rohrback retired and we did this, the state changed their mind. So
Well, I would like to have thought that the people that I work with know something about it if there was, but you never know. So yes, I'm very excited about that. Trash bills are printed and ready to go. Unfortunately, there has been a slight delay as Mr. Houston and I have discussed. The United States Postal Service wants us to do all of the payments to send them out online now. They wanted everybody to be set up by January. I was trying to get ahead of the game. I've been trying for a couple months, but they do not make their customer business portal easy to maneuver. And it won't let me merge our prevent with our account, so there's been some delays there. So I've asked Mr. Houston for a check. I'm going old school, and my Amesburg post office, which always gives me crap about it, is gonna have to deal with it. So they will go out tomorrow. And because tomorrow is the 11th and the due date is at the end of the month, I would like permission from the trustees to go ahead and extend the due date so that no late charges are incurred unfairly. It's normally the due date is October 31st. I'd like to just kind of move it back to November 8th so that people have more time to go ahead and get paid, because I know we have some issues with the postal service not getting people their bills in a timely manner often.
Yeah, I have no issue with that. Do we need to make a motion to do
Let's
that?
do it as a motion.
So I'll make a motion to push the due date for this quarter's trash billing back to November 8th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, guys.
It's approved.
Thank you. And I will put a statement out on our website and email list.
Okay. Appreciate it.
That is all I have.
All right, thank you. All right, with that, we'll move into the trustee reports. Mr. Potter.
All right. Got a couple of reports here. Had on our pool meeting. The pool went real well this year. They got a bid out to redo and paint the pergola and replacing the AC unit and the concession stands and a couple other things. They had about $40,000 set aside to spend on projects. That all totaled up to about $27,500. So it's all looking good. I have had 2 meetings with Judy and one with the mayor on the oversight committee about the budgets. Still talking to them about that. The park is still talking about the defibrillators. The tennis courts are moving forward and the Christmas in the park is still in the planning, but will be happening as far as I know. We put fertilize on Veterans Memorial Park this year after the Pretzel Festival and the MMI and fertilize and weed for both of those. The MMI report, I met with Shane Dill about the parking lot. He has volunteered his work and only going to charge for the gravel and the haul bill to put the parking lot at the MMI. So I have to go up there and lay that out, and he's going to stop by and get a measurement, give us a quote on what the gravel price will be. He's volunteering his
Awesome.
to get that done yet this year. And I'm going to help if I can with my dump truck to haul the gravel. I'm going to ask the city if they can help haul too. So I had a meeting with Jeremy a couple times. We went up about the roof. And we talked about the purchase of the truck. We found out something since then, obviously. So we'll have to check into that. And then we need to talk about the Geico product. Talked to the man in Miamisburg that he referenced. They've had several of those jobs with that. They're very happy with it. Anytime they've had a problem, they call them and come right out, check things out. This time it's not their problem, the roofing problem, it's something else.
Right.
But it's the roofing quote that we had from Spartan Roofing to replace the whole thing. If I remember right, was like $48,000. And this is 23,000, maybe a little bit more,
Yeah, it's just under 24.
maybe a little bit more with that patch.
Yeah.
I think we have a problem. But I think I would like to pass a motion or have a discussion about it. If anybody has any objections to this product.
Yeah, so I liked his presentation. I liked the sample of what came through. Seemed like some heavy duty stuff.
Yes.
Dr. Cross, if you're on, feel free to jump in as well. But my question would be, where are we looking to get the money from to pay for this? Is this still, we're still on the,
We can definitely use the ARPA funds because this is a non-budgeted item.
yeah,
But I would need to prepare the ARPA resolution
okay.
for this.
Yep.
So I'm reluctant to have us approve it tonight, but since we don't know the final amount anyway.
Well, I was just going to approve for 25,000 or something. And it's just, he's got the price. We just need to get on his
We're gonna run out, we're gonna
I'm gonna run out of time.
You're gonna be pushing too cold.
We can approve it and then reapprove it next month using the proper resolution paperwork.
Is that okay to do it that way?
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, when we did the parking lot, we approved it using the general fund. So
Yeah.
let's do it the same way. Let's approve it using the general fund.
Okay,
Yes,
And then next month, change it to using the ARPA fund.
okay. Dr. Cross, do you have any comments? If you can hear us. Probably.
Can you hear me, Jake?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with going ahead with it. I think it's, again, a good deal. It seems like you guys are happy
Okay.
with the products. Good.
All right, sounds good.
yep, thank you.
All right, so I would like to, we're gonna do this by resolution.
Resolution, we'll make that number 46. Use the general fund. You think 25 is enough, Mr. Potter? Or do you want to go maybe 30?
Let's go
max?
30
Let's go
just in
30.
case.
Just in case.
And then when we get the actual quote next month, when we do the ARPA resolution,
Yes,
then we'll put that amount in. In the case of the parking lot, we actually increased it. Some of the timing of sealing.
make sure you give them a copy of the addendum too.
Yes, that's required.
Okay. Do you want to introduce it? Do you want me to?
I can.
Okay.
I'd like to press a resolution of 2023-46 for Dry Tech, exteriors for the new roof of the Township building at the price of $30,000 to be paid for out of the general funds.
I will second.
Any discussion of resolution 2023-46? Call the roll. Mr. Stubbs?
Yes.
Sorry. My notes. Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2023-46 is adopted.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. And thank you for the fixing the headstones.
Oh, no problem.
Appreciate that. And that concludes my report.
All right, I will do mine and then I'll go to Dr. Cross if he has anything he'd like to get in tonight. At the cemetery, I just want to let everybody know that the mower is up on Gov Deals currently. It ends next Monday. So if you're interested in a 72-inch Ferris mower with a Cat diesel in it with approximately 2,000 hours on it, Gov Deals is where you should go. We're looking at, once this is sold, we're on the list to purchase 2 new mowers in the spring from John Ferris Mowers from Caning in Germantown. So they're back ordered. We're already on the list for 2 mowers. Mr. Easton, if you get a chance, can you send the sick time policy down to cemetery, just the general? Have you done
Given
that?
to
You
her.
already have? So
Yes.
there was just a miscommunication tonight.
One of the things I took to her the first time we met.
And she wasn't able to be there tonight due to parent teacher conferences, so I didn't get a chance to speak with her. So I appreciate that. They just asked me tonight. So we've had 6 burials in the month of September. We're pretty much right in line where we were at last year. We're dealing with the same issue with our levy that's coming up, whether like with you, if we do a replacement, what value are we going to get? So we have the same questions. We're working our way through that. Cemetery levy will either need to go on in the spring or in November. So
If you decide to do it at the March primary, your deadline is going to be in early December.
yeah,
And you've got the 2-step process
Yeah.
also. You're running out of time.
yeah, we talked about that tonight. So the problem is if we wait till November, we only have one chance to pass it. So we've been in discussion of how to go about this and we're taking action next month.
When I get information, I'll make sure that it gets to you as well as the other trustees. so that
Okay.
You can pass it on to the cemetery board.
I appreciate that very much. So we're trying to see what we can do with prices of everything going up. It's getting harder and harder to do just the day-to-day job down there with the current levy we're at. I don't know if I reported on this last month, but the house we have for the rental at the cemetery has been vacant now. The previous owners moved out, and we're looking at a couple repairs and just cleaning up with some painting and some simple stuff like that. So there'll be a house up for rent before too long. They just finished the latest round of foundation pours. They've got another pour they'd like to get in this year. We're working on getting those done before the weather changes. As I said, the mower's on gov deals currently. It ends on the 16th at 4 p.m. That's it for the cemetery. Police, I'm not going to get into a lot tonight with Chief Anzik. I'm going to wait till we have the full board back. I'd like to thank Joe Anzik. For those of you who don't know, Chief Anzik retired at the end of September. And when he did that, we promoted on an interim basis Shane Birch to our acting chief. So I'd like to thank Joe for his almost 30 years of service to the township. And I'd like to welcome and thank Interim Chief Birch for taking the role. And we look forward to working with you and seeing what we can do going forward. I had National Night Out to thank you guys for, but you've already talked about that. Last thing I'll say tonight is it is budget season. I'm not on a oversight anymore that has a joint budget with the city. So just watch those administrative fees. They like to stick those in there and increase them. So just keep an eye out for those. And if we do get the budgets from them, if we could forward them on to each other, just to make sure we all get a copy of them, I'd appreciate it. That concludes my report. Dr. Blue.
One thing I forgot to tell you, we put out for the 18 acres of farmland down at Weber Park. We put that out for bid. Ron Boyer had been doing it for about 15 years. The most recent price he was paying was $170 an acre. We put it out to 4 bids, and we got 2 at $210. And one was $211. So Ron was within $1. So we rented it back to him. He's done a very good job.
Yeah.
So we got an increase of $40 an acre on the 18 acres.
Okay.
What's his name again?
Ron Boyer.
Ron Boyer.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And the cemetery.
So you know for the cemetery.
Yeah, the cemetery has the 10 to 12 acres. And we were looking, I don't believe the price has gone up since 05, 06, sometime in that general area. So we're looking at getting that out to hopefully get somewhere in the same area as you are and give us a little extra to put towards projects down there we're working on. So, all right, Dr. Cross, do you have a report, or is it Mr. Heaston? Are you going to?
Dr. Cross has given me his report to read, so I will do so. And he can chime in if he wants to add anything to any of these. First of all, sorry, let me put my video back on. First of all, under fire and EMS, the oversight committee met for the regular quarterly meeting. There was no quorum, and as such, no action was taken. The city will now need to schedule a special meeting before November the 6th to approve the budgets. Next, he attended a September 20th JED board meeting. Dawn Gunter made a presentation representing the Valley View Performing Arts Committee. They are trying to raise $12,500 for a feasibility study for the construction of a performing arts center at the new school site. Mrs. Gunter stated that the committee has raised about $6,500 already, and she asked the board to contribute. The JED board decided to contribute $2 million. And other highlights from that meeting, the JED board has a balance of $7,300 as of September 20th. The JED board has paid $10,000 to the city for costs related to the JED formation and $6,640 to Dinsmore and Scholl, the legal firm, for legal fees. Next, He mentions a Wall Street Journal article on September the 5th featuring former police chief Lou Wilcox and former fiscal officer Bob Rohrback discussing the importance of male friendships. I am not aware of this article. Dr. Cross, would you like to share anything about that?
No, not really. It was just an interesting article to see that two of our residents made the Wall Street Journal.
Had no idea. I'm going to have to get on the Wall Street website and see if I can read that article. Thank you. Next, he mentions that the zoning commission held its regular meeting on October 4th. Most of the discussion was again about the small scale solar facility regulation. And to give the zoning commission more time to formulate the regulation, he will plan on extending the current moratorium 6 more months from December 29th of this year to June 29th of next year. And he will introduce a resolution to that effect at our November meeting.
Perfect.
Next, he viewed the October 2nd Germantown Council meeting online. The only highlight he noted was that the city is selling the property at 53 West Market, the old Dave Bishop Garage. They're selling it to Scott Weidel for $177,000. And he plans to, I can't read your word, Dr. Paul. He plans to maybe he plans to use retail and residential use of the property. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next, Dr. Cross says he will attend the October 18th electric and gas aggregation informational meeting here next week. And he's asked me to do a sign-up sheet, which I will leave on the podium, Dr. Cross, because I will not be able to come that night. I'm hoping to go to the one at Jackson Township the previous evening. And finally, he's asking our residents to vote on November 7th. And that concludes Dr. Cross's report, unless he'd like to add something more.
We're good. Thanks, Mark.
My pleasure. Feel better.
All right, that concludes all the trustee reports. Are there any other visitor comments tonight? Mr. Keenan.
Mark Keener, 7865 Jamaica. I had to think about it for a second.
So you can go on to the.
Mr. Houston, could you do me a big favor and send me or have Mr. Hunter contact me so I can get her a check from the JED board? Because I don't have her contact.
I can take care of that with you since I'm part of the committee. So
I want to deal with her.
you want to?
No. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll just chat for a second. Then.
Yeah, we can talk after the meeting. We actually don't need it at this point, but if you're ready to get it going, we'll take it.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
All right, thank you. Is there any old business? Any new business? I'd like to make a motion to adjourn at 7:58.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We're adjourned at 7:58.